Hello, friends. Howdy, friends. Friends. Yeah, I'm going to be on the ground a lot. You're going to need to see me here. Okay, looks good. Yeah, I can be all the way up here. Okay, awesome. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Facebook. I started this. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's making it just in time. I don't know, but 6:58. I'm not giving myself as much lead time. I really only need to know if you guys can hear me. The setup, I feel like I've got down pat. And this is a pretty cool world, man. That I can just do this. Like, the setup looks a little ridiculous, but I can produce this thing here for you guys to consume from my house during this thing. I mean, I'm grateful. It's very cool. Okay, looks like I went live. Let me just real quick. I went live on my personal page. Let me delete that. Delete. Just as I was bragging, practically bragging. Okay, PMA students. Go live. Start live video. Okay, let's try that again. RJ, can you hear me, brother? If you could put a comment, let me know that you hear me. That's always my first question on here because I did produce one that was inaudible, and it was devastating loss to me. Now I'm live over here in Facebook in the group, in the PMA students group, not on the page where my mom's gonna watch, and someone I went to high school could watch this workout. I mean, maybe I shouldn't leave them out. Maybe I should include everyone here. I'm gonna close this blind. I don't know if that helped, but trying to keep the lighting just perfect. All right. So today we're talking about, it's 7 o'clock now. Today we're talking about the side control, escape from the side control. Okay, it's actually something that we're looking at later tonight. I really recommend you guys come later tonight to the Bring a Video class, which is going to be a Zoom class, which just means, I'm going to publish a link. You click the link and then you're in Zoom with us, right? You don't have to download anything or sign up for anything to do that. I really recommend you guys join the 8:30 class tonight because I'm going to talk about some side control escape movements, and we're going to do them together here today for this class. But at 8:30 in the Zoom, which is we all sit on our couch, me too, in our whatever clothes, and I'm gonna review videos that you guys bring in. If you want to bring stuff from YouTube and you have questions, I've been encouraging people to bring a video. Thank you, RJ. Can someone on Facebook tell me if you can hear me? But tonight we're reviewing side control escapes as taught by James Finizio himself. Now I always reference James when I talk about this subject because he's the best I've ever experienced, best I've ever seen or experienced doing escaping from the bottom of side control, which is everybody's problem. I mean, you go to a seminar that black belts are in the crowd, and they are asking someone like Pedro Sauer, people who have been around for a while. Thank you, Sean. How do you get out of side mount? So black belts. Through black belt, you can expect to be asking, what's your favorite guard pass? Or how do you pass the guard? And how do you escape the bottom side control? Or which side control escape do you like the best? Today we're going to do some fundamental movements. In fact, they're going to be so fundamental, we're mostly going to talk about one arm position. And that's because of what James has been talking about in his video. So I'll show you. He's invited me, basically his school is in Savannah. So this guy I talked about, who's the best side control guy who I've kind of experienced. He's doing virtual classes for his students too, and he invited me. So it's like I can be a student at his school. It's the biggest silver lining, I think, of this whole thing for me is that I get to take classes with James, not only for like a month or whatever this amount of time is going to be, but it's almost like taking classes with him for a year. And I'm good friends with him, but talking about this on the phone because he's not just teaching a move and then everyone practices it. He's making like these 40-minute videos and just doing a brain dump. And it would take him months to show this stuff in class, he even says himself. So anyway, we're going to review that at 8:30. I invite you to join me. The movements we're going to do today, okay, bottom of side control. Like I said, some fundamental stuff I'm going to stick to, mostly what Pedro Sauer teaches us. And let me pull up my thing. We're going to do a little warm up. And then contrary to what I've been doing lately, which has been interval training, I want to feel this one out a little bit with you. I have 10 moves instead of 15. I also want to finish on time for Katie at 7:30 for yoga right here on the Facebook group for our students here. Now let's do a little warm up. So I'm going to be probably headless in both videos, but I like to start with my feet and ankles. This is my favorite warm up now. Opening and closing them, turning them around. Okay. Same with your Dan Thorne's with us. Good to see you, Dan. I think Bart's here, Roy's here, Sean's here, a bunch of people. I don't know why Jay Watson's not here. He's got the best attendance of everybody, and he's not even at PMA anymore. Guy lives in Delaware. Okay. Let's do some arm circles. I'm trying to get myself in camera. Probably knock my TV over. I'm supposed to move in 2 days. I'll probably break this TV before then. All right, so arm circles. If you guys have been watching the videos, you've been watching things clear out of this room, like all my Xbox and Nintendo and stuff while we're down here before. Okay, now I'm just crisscrossing my arms. All right, I'm just going to turn a little bit at the waist. All right, let's do our lower body. Knees. This is going to matter because we're going to use our lower body a lot for our escapes from side control. This is going to be closer to a class than anything we've done recently. I'm going to have us repeat movements, other way. But I'm going to talk about side control escapes. Driving home from work. Don't do knee circles with your foot on the accelerator. Foot on the brake, I guess you could do maybe hip circles. Right, but don't take off your seatbelt to do that. Okay, other way. This is mostly, the escape movements we'll do today are very jiu-jitsu in that they're going to use our core, our hips a lot. And this will take up, again, I'm intentionally doing this in a space. This is a 6x6 rug, the shag rug I'm sitting on right here. So we'll take up some space doing some of the stuff we do today. You might see me like step over my chair or something, but like I'm here in solidarity with you. Some of you guys don't have a ton of room. Okay. So I want to talk about the elbow escape. It should be the first thing you think when you think about escaping the side mount. And I want to talk about it the way that Pedro Sauer does it, because I've done the elbow escape. And elbow escape also was my forte as a smaller guy than all my opponents. For years and years and years and years. But it really changed when I focused in on how Pedro Sauer does it. And he became sort of, my teacher and mentor in this pastime of ours. All right. So a good elbow escape is going to be this. I'm trying to think of the best angle to do here. But I think it's probably something like this. We're going to pretend the person is here and their head is here. So here's my instruction on this. I'm going to have my arms around their body. Okay. This one's always blocking the hip. This is frequent for us, right? I'm blocking the hip here, and this one is between our stomachs, under his far arm, and then kind of hold on to his body here. Not holding him to me. Why make him heavier? But I'm connected, right? So we're going to be here. My arms are sort of wrapped around my guy. Okay. Now I'm going to start by walking my foot out, this foot out. Let me change my angle a little bit here. So I'm under here. I start by walking this foot out, and then I put these toes on the floor, and I'm going to back my hips out. This is how to get on your side when someone's really heavy. Okay. I always kind of tried to fight my way onto my side, and people would push me back down and stuff like that. Pedro Sauer makes this so simple when he teaches it, and I don't mind shouting him out on this like every few minutes, because it really changed everything for me. I'm blocking the hip. I'm under the far armpit. I walk this foot away from the person, and I start pushing off these toes, and it'll turn you on your hip, and they won't be able to flatten you back out because I have this foot as a kickstand, right? But I'm not done yet. When I get to here, and I'm here, if I extend my arms, you can see that my bottom arm is longer than my top arm, he says. And what I want to do at this moment, having turned on my side, is this. Right? I want to turn so my top arm is on. What does that mean? That means that my shoulder girdle, I'm facing the floor more than I'm facing the sky, right? And when I'm here and someone pushes on my chest, I get flattened out. When I do this and someone pushes on my shoulder, especially with my foot brace, I'm probably not going to go anywhere. I still have my arms in the same place they were when I'm doing it against a person. So, this is an illustration, this movement right here. But when you do it with a person, it's just gonna look like this. Right? My hands are still in the same places on their body as they were. Okay. From here, the other thing is, I'm holding their body, and you may not just be able to scoot out like that. You can actually put your hand on their hip and push off, and that'll help you create this angle. Okay. So let's just do what we did so far. and that is from being flat, I start walking the foot on the opposite side from the person. I put these toes on the ground and I push off here, and I put my hand on their hip, and after I walk my hips away, I push off, and now, this arm's longer, okay? From here, I'm gonna put this knee in at an angle. So their knees are here on the floor, and I'm gonna put this knee between their knees, and then I'm gonna, my arms are still here, and then I'm gonna step over my leg and their leg. Then I'm trapping their leg. Now I'll put this foot on the floor, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna scoot under. This is me crowbarring them up off of me, and then I'm gonna just do this. If you don't understand, quite imagining that this is their knee, just my hand's going down next to my knee that was just on the floor, and then I'm bringing my leg around. So this is me catching their leg, their second leg. Because I caught the first one when I crowbarred them over. Okay, so from here, okay, block the hip, block under the arm, walk your foot out, put these toes on the ground, back your hips up. Okay, now put your hand on their hip and push off to switch your shoulders. That's a huge piece. Okay, now this knee comes in at an angle, and then you step over your foot and their foot, and now you get their leg basically trapped between your legs a little bit. You can put your toes on the ground, the floating toes on the ground. Now both feet are on the floor, and I'm going to do this. When I do this, they float over me. I push this leg, and then I catch them in full guard. Okay, so we're going to do this a few times. Okay, but I don't have the timer. This will be less intense. We have fewer moves to get through also. Okay, get your hands in position. Start walking your foot out. So it's legs first. 1, 2 feet on the ground. Back your hips up. Now, block and switch your shoulders. Okay. Now this knee comes in at an angle to the floor. You don't come in across the floor here because their knee might be there, but there will be a space here. Okay, so you're here. Step over everything. Put your foot on the floor. You're gonna crowbar them up, push their leg, and then catch them in full guard. Even if you can't picture everything, do these movements, and we'll cover it in class. So you'll see them. For now, hold your person. Walk my foot out. Use my other foot to back my hips out. Now, push off them to switch my shoulders. I'm going to bring this knee in, step over everything. 2 feet on the floor, crowbar them up, push the remaining leg, just with a C grip. I just push that and then catch, okay? From here, walk your foot out. Use your other foot to back your hips up. Put your hand on their hip. You've done your lower body. Now do your upper body. Now you're prepared to do it. So elbow skate. Knee comes in. Step over everything. 2 toes on the ground. Shift up. Push their leg. Catch them in full guard. Okay. I'm going to do this like 2 more times. But review this video to get this down if you like. Blocking the hip, far armpit. So legs first. Outside leg. Now inside leg. Back your hips up. Block their hip, back your shoulder up, and now you've done lower body, and then upper body, you can elbow escape. Knee in, step over everything, my toes on the floor, put the other toes on the floor, and now crowbar with your hips, push their leg and catch. Okay, last one we'll do together. Hands are in position. Walk your foot out, outside foot, and then your inside foot, and back your hips up. That's your lower body. Hand on the hip, upper body. Now I have the correct arm length situation. Keep your left foot on the floor while you put your right knee in. Then step over everything. All toes on the floor, knees to the ceiling, push their leg, and you'll catch them in full guard. Okay? That's the elbow escape as taught by us at PMA, but I get it from Pedro Sauer, straight from the source. That is a fantastic elbow escape. You have a lot of power with the legs. When you put the 2 toes on the floor, and I'm talking about crowbarring, you'll see when someone's in your guard. Very powerful. Okay. Now let's look at Pedro Sauer's belly down escape. Starts entirely the same way, which is good because we're gonna first of all, because we'll get a lot of reps of that movement, that fundamental movement. Secondly, because we are saving time on this second move. So I'm going to start in the same place. By the way, this is the arm configuration that Pedro Sauer and some of Pedro Sauer's best guys all recommend. Just having the arm under the far armpit because it could be between their arms. I always talk about that. That's bad because they can see it, play with it, right? So hide it here or hide it here. But hiding it here, I do not see some of the best Pedro Sauer guys doing. So if there's a question in your mind, like, well, what's the best? It's nice to have a piece of information that you can like go back to that's instructive, like, well, this is probably the best position. So this arm underneath the far armpit, probably the best position. I'm going to take it from like all the best guys I know in our association, right? Okay. Arm here, arm here. Starts the same. Legs, hips, and then I'm going to switch my shoulders, push off their hip here to switch my shoulder. But now I'm going to do this. Make sure I have a good angle for you. Now I'm going to back my hips away a little bit because I want to bring myself kind of to north-south to them. Right? They're still a little perpendicular on me, so I'm going to begin one step with my outside foot to go perpendicular, and then I'm going to thread the needle with this foot here. Okay? So we do it this way. So you guys see here? Here, I walk this foot out, and back away. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more north-south to them. And then this hand under the far armpit, I'm going to put it right here on them, right on their quad near their hip. So from under the far armpit to the quad, it's going to be there. And then I'm going to thread the needle, which means, I'm going to change the angle here, which means I'm going to do this. So my left foot, which was my outside foot, it was the first foot that moved, stays on the ground. The other one threads the needle, like goes through the space here so that I can go belly down. My hand is on their thigh. You'll be down. Hand is on the thigh, and I get up here. There should be a moment when your hand's on the thigh, your elbow's on the ground, and my palm, you notice I have this like Khmer grip on my palm. That's because everyone who's any good is probably going to try to catch your neck. So as you get up and they try to catch your neck, you catch their hand. They're going to wrap around for guillotine. As it comes in, you just catch their wrist. Now we're going to do this. Step up and use your whole body to knock them over to side mount. Or if they don't fall to side mount, you're going to be coming around behind them. Okay? So I know this one may be confusing if it's the first time you ever heard it. So I'm going to be here, walk my outside foot out, push off of here, find their hip, switch my shoulders. Okay? Now this one that's under their arm is going to go to their leg. I'm going to take one more step with my outside leg. So I'm more north-south to you, you can see, you're them. Right, now I'm going to thread the needle and go belly down. I have a hand pushing on their leg, so I'm driving into them off my toes. This hand is, I'm on my elbow, ready to catch their hand. I'm going to step up here, and now I'm under their armpit, especially if they wrapped here. I'm under their armpit. When I do this, I'm either going to take their back, or a lot of times, because my hand's on the leg, I can kind of block the knee and actually knock them over and take side mount. So this escape is one that I honestly avoided for most of my career because no likey, the guillotine moment, right? I don't like turning my belly down, having somebody behind and above me trying to put a choke on me. I was like, that's crazy. But after practicing this move a lot, I would say that it's a very good one, actually. So I'm going to be here. So walk the outside foot out, turn on my side more, lock the hip, switch my shoulders. Right? And now this hand that was under the armpit is going to go to the leg while I back away a little more, thread the needle, and come up to sort of my knees. I'll probably have one of my legs straight. But this hand is on their leg. That's the floor is the leg for now. And this is here, ready to catch the hand as it comes through. When someone wraps my head, I catch the wrist. I bring up a knee just so I have some forward momentum when I step up. And now I have an angle to turn to take the back or possibly tap their knee and knock them over. Let's do it. Foot goes out, other foot goes out, back my hip up. Switch my shoulders. Take another step with my outside leg, hand to this is their leg. Thread the needle. I'm going to come up to my elbow, ready to catch the hand. So this isn't here, because you'll be late. You want to be here, so as soon as it comes in, you got it. Step in, step up, turn the corner. Okay. Walk your outside foot, push up the other one, hips back, all right, block the hip, switch your shoulders. One more step with this foot, this hand goes to the leg, this will be the top of their leg right here. The leg, thread the needle, you're going north-south, so you're facing them now. You're ready to catch the arm when it comes in. You catch it, and you're gonna do this step. That's with the inside knee. Outside leg steps up, and turn the corner. So step, step up, turn the corner. Let's do it twice more. Outside leg, inside leg. Right. Shoulders. Now, take one more step. You're going a little more north-south, and then go thread the needle, hand to their leg, and you're up on your elbow, ready to catch the hand. Step with the inside leg, step up with the outside leg, turn the corner. Last one. Get a little more north-south. Come here. I'm ready to catch their arm. I catch it. Step with the inside, step up with the outside, and either knock them over or take the back. Okay? That's the belly down. I don't mind spending the most time on those two. Those are going to be the very, very, very fundamental ones. Let me show you one that's a little bit tricky, but super useful and really useful even against like high-level guys. If you're new and you roll with like blue belts, purple belts, they're like going for stuff on you because they know a bunch of attacks. This is a good one. First time as a guy who likes tricky moves, this was my favorite thing in the whole world when I first learned it. So I did it a lot, right? So presuming someone's on top of me and they're on this side, right? Their head's over here. Most of their body's over here. Okay. I have that same grip. We're still under the far armpit and near hip. Okay. Now, what if I turn on my side a little bit? I don't know if you guys can see and my arm comes away. If I make this mistake or if I make this mistake on purpose of opening this space, I don't know if you guys know, but this right here, this space wrapping under my arm, if you're the person, you should be super drooling over the darce that I'm giving you. So I am giving you an opportunity to put your arm in here. Here, the arm comes through here and around my neck, and then I start getting caught in a head and arm choke, okay? So I'll even bait this now because I love this reversal so much. Walk my outside leg, I turn on my side, I go, anybody interested? And when someone puts their arm in there, as soon as the arm comes through, I catch their wrist, and I clamp my elbow over their elbow, right? This may be hard to imagine, but stay with me. Do what I do if you can't imagine it, right? I do this. They start putting an arm through here. I'm going to catch the wrist. The rest of them is attached. So when I do this, I'm going to clamp on their arm. I actually have a lot of control over their upper body, their shoulder girdle. From here, I can block either their leg or their hip. Now, first time I learned it, I learned to block the hip. So I'm trap their arm, block the hip, and then I walk my hips in and underneath. And what happens is they actually get shoveled over to the other side and I get on top. So it's a reversal. It actually puts you on top. So put out, switch my arms. Maybe I'm like, anybody home? Like, anybody want this darce? And when they reach through here, I grab their wrist and trap their arm here. You're trying to trap their elbow, really. Okay. I used to block the hip. I honestly still do it this way very frequently. Pedro Sauer blocks their knee on the floor. He blocks their knee on the floor so that when you scoop, you're putting their knees, now they have one knee here and one knee right where my hand is. You're putting their knees together and you're controlling their shoulder girdle. So when you put their knees together and then you scoop your hips underneath, they get thrown over to the other side with no arm to catch themselves because you're holding it. I'll assume you got me from my explanation. Let's just do a few, right? So I'm on the bottom. Walk your outside foot. Open up. Catch the wrist. Clamp your elbow. Block the hip. Walk in. And as I walk in, my hips, see how I'm turning to belly to the ceiling? And now my hips are facing the other way. That's the movement you want to do, okay? So I'm on my back. Step out. Get on my side. Switch my shoulders. And then, oops. And they reach their hand in. Grab their hand. Clamp their elbow. Block their knee or hip. And then walk in. And you're stiff arming. I'm stiff arming here if I have the hip. And they get knocked over. Their hips, I bring their hips right over my hips. Let's just do it twice more. Okay? So it always starts the same way. Outside foot, inside foot, turn my hips. Switch. Oops. That's my oops. And sometimes we actually oops. And sometimes you're like, hey buddy, and you're tricking on me. They put it in, catch the wrist, trap. Walk. If I block the hip, I'm stiff arm. If I block the leg, I'm blocking it here so that I can collect their legs, their two knees together. controlling the shoulder girdle. You should reverse them right to the other side. Last one. Outside leg, inside leg. Switch your hips, switch your shoulders. This is all of our moves like this. Open, catch the wrist when it comes in, and immediately use the whole arm to catch their arm. I'm going to block the leg, bring the legs together, and shovel. A shovel doesn't, you don't dig, you know, like this moving. You dig like this. You sort of scoop, and that's what I'm doing with my hips. Sort of scoop, so that means my belly goes to the ceiling, and that's how I roll them to the other side. So I'm actually doing that. Okay, that's the elbow trap reversal. I'll call it sometimes I call it the Darce reversal. I actually hit this in the last competition I did was Zapatero. So the last competition I did was Zapatero November last year or something, and I totally hit this. The guy got on top of me, and I went, "Hey, you want this?" And he totally was a Darce guy, and I knew it. But I caught his arm and I reversed him, and I got on top. It was one of my cool moments. Not all my moments in that match were cool, but Ratchet Escape. Ratchet Escape is going to be our other like go-to escape, and Ratchet's going to put us in dogfight, right? So this is I'm doing a different position every 3 nights. So we'll be doing side control escapes today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Okay. So I'm going to teach the most tonight, and we'll do more reps the next couple nights. Maybe I'll turn the timer back on and we'll do interval training. But when we do the longer nights, which are not the nights I'm immediately followed by Kate, so Wednesday, so tomorrow night, when we do the long version, we're going to do the most information that we'll do of any of the nights on dogfight, the position that we're going to get up to when we do this ratchet escape. But let me talk about what that is. From this position here, I've still got the same grip on the guy. I'm going to do this. Assuming he's chest to chest, I can reach and put my hand around him like this, right? But if he's chest to chest, because here's his body on mine, right? Sometimes guys are lower. Sometimes guys are like chest to stomach. I don't advise it, but sometimes guys do it when they know that you would like to use this arm to sort of escape out the back door, which is what we're going to do. But because they know, oh, this is one of those guys that is going to use this as a wedge, as like a little ratchet to get out the back door under his armpit. Okay, so when they know that, they bring their weight down. So they're at the end of the lever, and they'll pin your arm here. Okay, so now I can't do the jacking sort of motion I want to do with this like a car jack or like a ratchet. Right? I can't do it when they're on the end of the lever. But what you can do is do this. You can knee them, and their body will move. And when their body moves, now you're nice and deep here. Okay, so that's the first movement I actually usually do with the ratchet. It's just a little boop. So my knee's going outside my arm. You can't go inside your arm. Okay, so start here. Knee, assuming that they're low, just bring your hands low. Somebody might really well do this to you. I would do this to you. It's a good thing to do for top end. So nudge the person north. So they're up here. And once they're here, you can do this. My arm is straight, my hips come up. When my hips drop, my arm stays. I keep the progress I made. And when I raise them again, I'm able to come out the back door. Let me give you more distance so you can see that better. So I'm going to be, even if I'm flat, I can do this. Okay? So first I'm going to nudge them a little more north. Now straighten your arm, open your hand, hips up once, hips up again, and you're coming out the back door. I look over my shoulder, very helpful. So it's not just, I can't get around me. It's look over your shoulder. You will find by opening up your spine and literally looking where you just came from that you will escape much better. Sometimes you'll lift your hips, someone will be smaller than you, and they'll move. That's if they're smaller than you, honestly, or they have terrible balance. A lot of times what happens is they don't move, but the force of your arm hitting them moves, you move yourself. If you look over your shoulder, you'll cover more ground and you'll get out, okay? So that's what we want. So I'm gonna go 1 to lift them off me and 2 to escape. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go third center down here. I'm gonna nudge them up. I'm gonna go 1, 2, right? You notice the 2 is very important. I'm pulling myself with my feet essentially, looking over my shoulder, and then I'm using this ratchet or this jack to get them up. And now I'm gonna switch my legs and come up to kneeling. And I'm gonna hold their waist. And I have options. I can come up to here and try to take their back, or I can do stuff we'll do over the next couple of days. But let's just get this ratchet down. One bump is gonna take their weight off you. The second bump is the one where you're gonna escape, okay? So let's do this. Start here, pretend they go low. I'm just making it as hard as I can for you. The hardest time to ratchet is when they're low on you, but the answer is easy. You bump them north. Now, one, to get their weight off, and you may wanna hit your feet off the floor, right? That sudden explosion is sometimes the thing you need on a big enough person or someone you wanna catch off guard. So 1, 2. Okay. Second one, I pulled myself with my feet. You almost can't do it slow motion. Pulled myself with my feet and looked over my shoulder, and that's going to get me out. Now I'm going to switch my legs and come up. I'm holding their waist. And for now, I have my ear against their ribs. I don't come above the horizon of their body. I'm not digging under, my ear against their ribs. Let's do 2 more of this. And actually, I'm going to call it time it that way. So let's say I'm holding their body, and they don't like this because they see maybe this move coming, so they go down here. So I'm going to bump this, right, to get them up here. Now, 1, 2. Look over your shoulder, switch your legs, come up to dogfight. The position we're getting up to is called dogfight. I'm not just kneeling. If there's a person here, you can see that I'm straddling their lower leg. So I'm here. Maybe let me do one from the same. Maybe they can see that my stem under here is going to be a way to get out. So they try to shorten it by coming down my body. So I'm going to do this. Ooh. My knee comes outside my elbow, and then with a straight arm, do not bend your arm. It's not a bicep curl, so don't try to throw them off the bicep. Straight arm because it rests my elbow on my hip, so that when my hip goes up, boom, 1. Now 2, watch me when I go 2. 2, looking over my shoulder. I'm already coming onto my side. Now I hold their waist, and when I get up, I'm in dogfight because they were already kneeling next to me in side mount, and I came out the back door, and then I straddled. This leg. So that's where I landed here, straddling their leg. Okay. These are some of our basic side mount escapes. 7:30 now. I'm going to wrap it up now. Katie is pink super moon real quick. Look east. Guys, look east. There's a pink super moon. I'm going to do that. Which way is east? That's west. Okay. I've got to look out the window on the other side of my house. You guys should too. Look east. I guess there's a pink super moon, and then Katie's going to do some yoga. So take your 2-minute break to look at the moon. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks so much for being here. And we'll do a little bit longer look at bottom of side mount tomorrow. All right, take care. Take care, guys. Stop this here. Oh, that's me. Peace. Thanks, guys.